my channel. So today I'm talking about a new trend that's been going on TikTok called the tread wife. A tread wife is short for traditional wife. A lot of women out there are embracing the role of being a traditional wife. And I think it's so funny that I'm doing this video in the kitchen about being a traditional wife, but that's the only spot that I can get really good lighting, so bear with me. I have 3 videos set up that I want to show you about being a tread wife, just to give you an idea. So this girl, Nada Aziz Smith, very pretty woman, very dolled up. Okay, so she's making Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the cereal, from scratch. Who's got the time? Who's taking care of your kids, lady? That's like even a little batch of cereal. I mean, I want to see how long it takes her to make a full box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because she only made like 2 bowls. Once again, who's watching your kids? If you're a tread wife, a homemaker, while you're making like little squares of cereal. And let me tell you, men don't care. Men don't care where their cereal came from. That probably tastes the same as the box that you get from Ralph's. Look, I get it. I get the whole wanting to cook from scratch. I love that. I love making oatmeal cookies, and my oatmeal cookies are banging. They taste better than any other oatmeal cookie you've ever had. Well, like, I'm pumping myself up, but I love making food from scratch. So to be honest, Nada Aziza, I can't hate on her that much. She was one of the examples of being a tread wife that I found on the internet. So that's why I'm using her. This next lady, it says, getting all dolled up to see my husband when he gets home from work, like it's a special occasion, because it is. And she's doing her hair, all her makeup, all blah, blah, blah. She looks all pretty, like she's going out. Once again, not really hating on her, because it's whatever makes you feel good, whatever gives you that boost of self-confidence. And for some women, it's putting a full face of makeup on, doing their hair, and if that makes them feel good, that's fine. And it gets exhausting, doesn't it? Because she's saying like, oh, every time her husband comes home from work, she has to be all dolled up for him, because every day it's a special occasion. I don't know. Then you gotta like wash your face. Your husband has seen you, I hope, with nothing on, you know, like all natural, how you wake up, how you go to bed. I guess the putting makeup on, it's like a little treat for him to see her all dolled up, but like at nighttime at 9 p.m. she's gonna have to wash all that off. Third and last example, and this is the most important one, because she's teaching everyone out there how to be a tread wife. And this video I'm about to show you has 1.4 million views. Her name is STC Williams. How to be a traditional wife, part 1.
Number 1, embracing ultra-traditional gender roles into your marriage. The man, he is the provider, the main breadwinner. He goes out of the house and works. The woman, the wife, she is the homemaker. She takes care of the home. She takes care of herself, and she does the cooking and the cleaning. You have to marry the right man. If you marry a guy who in your dating life, he showed abusive and control tendencies, this is a disaster waiting to happen, because when you become financially dependent on this man, he will abuse all of that. So make sure that you take your dating life very seriously. Number 3, learn to cook, learn to clean, and learn how to host. Cooking and cleaning are life skills that can benefit you and your family forever.
Okay, I give her credit, because you can take this video and just do like for clickbait and a soundbite of what she says, like, you need to learn how to cook and clean. They're like lifetime skills. But I appreciate the fact that she said, find a man that doesn't have controlling tendencies, because if you become financially dependent on him, he can abuse that. So I'm glad she addressed the financial side of being a tread wife, because I really want to get, deep into this. The cooking and cleaning part, as she called skills. I know it kind of sounds bad when you watch it, but I do agree that people need to have those skills. And we think it's like common sense. Everyone knows how to clean, everyone knows how to cook. No, they don't. I dated this guy that we're supposed to meet, and he said he was caught up by his laundry. I'm like, oh, what happened? Can you do it later? Blah, blah, blah. No, his laundry exploded. The machine exploded with like soap. There's soap everywhere. And I'm like, what happened? How much soap did you put? And then the amount of soap that he put, it was like a full cup, not the little like lid, like a full cup of the dish detergent, because he wanted the clothes to smell really good. I'm like, what, do you even know how to do laundry? He didn't even know how to separate the whites and the colors. And this is no joke. He thought that the permanent press cycle on the dryer, that his clothes would come out pressed and folded. This is not a joke. That's what he thought. And I get the whole having roles in a relationship, actually in a partnership. You like to cook, you better at cooking, you do the cooking. I do the cleaning. You don't like doing the dishes, I'll do the dishes, you cook. Or I cook, you take out the trash. You change the dirty diapers, I'll rock him to sleep. If you know your role in your relationship, oh, that saves you so many arguments. And I'm all for women living their lives as they please. That's the basics of feminism. Feminism, it's about having choices and options, being able to open a bank account. Do you remember, I think it was like in the 70s, women still couldn't have a credit card. They needed like their husbands for that. Voting, let's not forget about voting, that not until recently, women could not vote. So I don't think, because a lot of people are saying that this whole trend of being a trad wife, it's a step backwards in women's rights. I don't think so, because little Miss Betty Crocker here, it's her choice to stay home. Only if this is a partnership. Because what if your husband gets laid off? Are you going to be able to be the provider of the household? My only problem with this trad wife trend is that these women, all these women, how to be a trad wife, are not being fully transparent. One of them is married to a millionaire. Her husband is a millionaire. And all of them are successful content creators or models. They're all making good money that's going into either the household or their personal accounts. They're all business women. So I feel that there's a lack of honesty here, because they're all successful women encouraging women out there in the real world to be housewives and be dependent on a man. Girls out there, are you ready? Let's have a little chat. Have a plan, because these are some things that can happen to your husband. He may die, he may get fired, he can cheat on you, he can leave you, and worst of all, he can beat you. And what are you gonna do when things fall apart? You better have a badass prenup to get a nice divorce settlement when you two divorce. Otherwise, you're screwed. Will you be able to live your life without the lifestyle that you've been accustomed to? And by the way, if a man wants to cheat, he will cheat. It doesn't matter how many pounds of makeup you put on your face, he will cheat. It doesn't matter how delicious that cereal is. By the way, the percentage of men that cheat on their pregnant wives, it's insane. Like if you count the times that men ever cheated on their women, the highest percentage, it's when they were pregnant. What are you gonna do then? More cinnamon toast crunch? The delusion of thinking that once you have a newborn, you're going to have time to make bread every morning. It's so cheesy to say, but women out there, have your own money. Having financial independency, it's everything. I actually worked a lot on therapy about being financial stable, because I've been called frugal, cheap, greedy, because I care so much about money and I'm so protective of money. But that's because I have financial trauma. And once I unpack that, people kind of like now understand why I'm so attached to money, especially like in a relationship. Someone asked me like, but why do you have financial trauma? Were you ever broke? And I'm like, no. Did you ever file for bankrupt? No. Were you poor as a kid? I was like, no, we were middle class. Like my father provided everything we needed. But my financial trauma comes from watching my mom being financially dependent on my dad. Honestly, it was not a good situation. I don't want to badmouth the dad because my dad has passed away and my sister's probably watching, but my father was a great father, a great father. We were always traveling, always provided for us. As a husband, he was a horrible husband. It was a very toxic marriage. I don't want to get into details. And my mom could not leave because she didn't have her own money. She stopped working when my sister and I were born. When my grandma was alive, if things went down in the house, she could go and stay with my grandma. After my grandma passed away, she couldn't leave. And for me, like up until like to this day, I'm traumatized by it because I promised to myself from a young age, I promised to myself as a little girl that I would never, ever be financially dependent on a man, that I will always work hard to have my own money, because if situations like this happen, if I was in a toxic, abusive relationship, I could up and leave. And this happened. Little story time. I was in a very toxic relationship and it became abusive, and I was able to up and go. Even though the lease was in our name, I was able to break out of the lease, get a hotel room. I spent so much money because I was paying per night in this hotel, but it was freedom to me. It was freedom that I could just like leave him whenever I want. That's what money is for me. Money, it's freedom. In my humble opinion, money does buy happiness. Yeah, it doesn't buy health. It doesn't buy love, but it buys you the best doctors out there. It buys you the best hospitals and care out there once we're sick. It does buy you first class tickets. It does buy you travel experiences. So for me, money does buy happiness, because once again, if I have a gap in my schedule and I want to go to Italy, I'm like, I can book a ticket. So to sum it up, don't listen to all those TikTokers out there. They're trying to sell you their brand. Being a tread wife, it's a brand. The more views they get, the more likes they get, the more money they make. Like I said, they're all business women. What you can take from this tread wife trend is that you're supposed to make your own money as well. Like, use them as inspiration, not to be like, oh, at home cooking, baking, getting dolled up for my husband to have a drink waiting for him and give him a blowjob. Do that because you want to do it. Do that because you love your husband, because putting makeup on makes you feel good about yourself. Have your hobbies, have your own work, have your passions. This video was more of my advice for all the young women out there. What do you think of this trend of being a tread wife? Do you think it's a step back in women's rights? It goes against feminism? Sound off. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. I have a thanks button if you want to hit the thanks button. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.